Hello guys, I am Nico and today I am announcing that I will be opening or I will be releasing an open source project about a REST API template for Node or maybe a framework in the future. So I guess let's start with cloning the project itself inside my GitHub repository here. Let's just first clone this one. For you guys, you can just simply fork this repository into your own GitHub account and uh, just uh, just clone your forked repo. So let's open up our terminal here. Maybe let's go to my directory. So git clone this repository and cd into it. Chasi and let's install our dependencies here. Hmm, seems slow. Okay, so it seems slow. So let's try to. Oh, it's now moving. By the way, this project requires Node version 14 and later. Okay, so let's first check our versions. I'm on version 4.12, but luckily I have NVM installed my machine, so I can just simply use it to replace my Node version. Let's check it. Okay, let's try to boot up the server. And I guess let's go to our project chassis. So, okay. Let's move it on another window so you guys can see it clearly. Okay, first I have a little template here, a template of .env. You can just simply add your own env file here. This is just I guess a configuration file. You can just simply copy paste that one, and let's make sure we have route logging enabled. Okay, so what I have in mind is uh, for 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 tutorial purposes, maybe let's just first create um, a simple example of an API or basic example. So I guess let's have post as an example posts. So let's go to our container routes HTTP here. So let's use the API API file here. But if you happen to have another one in mind, you can just simply create it and just register it in the router service provider. So but right now let's just use this API. Let's okay. So I guess let's create our controller and a model here for post by hmm, let me check first my node version here. I'm use 14. So let's access the scripts here to create a controller or a model or even a middleware by having this script node chassis new controller post controller. Oops. Okay, another one for model model post. Since I am using nodemon here, every file change on my directory here, on my parent directory here, it will reboot the server. I guess that's all we need, right? Okay, so let's register the first our first endpoint here. Let's say it's a post method. What will be our an endpoint? Maybe since this is a post, let's create one for creating post create. Okay, and let's just um, say it should be pointed here at our post controller. Let's use the create method. So first, let's just try if we can access this route using using Postman, or you could use your own API Explorer. So we have one registered endpoint here. Let's see if we can access that one. And it's a post method API. By the way, this prefix here came inside the router service provider. I declared it to use this string as a prefix. As you can see, it's here. It's right here. So our endpoint here is API slash post slash create. Let's see if we will be able to access that endpoint. Okay, so it returns uh, 401, which means we don't have any authentication here, and the endpoint requires an authentication. That's just because by default, every endpoint registered or every um, routing collections registered here in our authentication is by default protected by the JWT token. So it will require a JWT token for us to be able to access. But for our example right here, let's just disable that. And let's see if we will be able to access that endpoint. Okay, so yep, we are successful at accessing that endpoint. For for our testing purposes here, let's just set up the set up our schema here. So let's try to create a new record for post. But what does a post consist of? Hmm, maybe let's add a title. So a post must have a title with a type of string. And let's make it required. What else? Maybe a text with a type also of string. And let's make also this as required. Okay, so for purpose here, I guess this example is fine. Let's save this. Let's see if we can create one. So by the way, Chasi also maps these models right here inside the controller, so we can access the models here inside the controllers models property. Let's see that. Maybe it's easier to explain if you can see it. Let's just console like this. Use that models. Let's see if we have that. So we have two properties here which just point to this two schemas on our inside our models directory. Or if you want, you can also access this models by requiring it. So you can use this post and just simply require it and then map it to this models directory. But for this tutorial, I'll be using this inside inside mapping. Let's use this um, models from the controller. So let's try to create one document using this models. Post that, since we are accessing the post model here, so let's create one document, or just say try. It's a very good thing to practice this try catch method, so any errors we got in our runtime here, we will be able to handle that. Let's set the status of 500 in case of an error and set the message to that message. So let's try if we will be able to access that route endpoint. Let's simply send this one. Okay, says rec is not defined. Yep. Have you seen them? Sorry for that. Let's replace it with this one. And also, we didn't have yet to set this parameters, which will be consisting of title, my first my first post, and another one for text. So it's really clear, it should have a text, my first post description. So let's see if we will be able to create a new document. Okay, so I guess we are successful in creating a new document. Okay, so what now? How about getting this document that we just created here? So let's set up an endpoint to get that document. Let's have a let's have the indexed maybe. Let's have a dynamic route for it to handle, and let's use index. How can we how can we access that document right here? Since we are using, or Chasi is using Express, you are eligible of using the params. Again, we will get the request that params. Let's see if we are also able to access this dynamic route, since we said we declared that our dynamic route will consist of this variable here. Okay, so let's create a new one. Forget localhost 3000 API. Far out again. API post and dynamic parameter post and the dynamic parameter, which is our ID here. So let's see if what it will be returning to us. Okay, so it returned us our variable here. Okay, it will be good, I guess, if we will have something like the controller model binding, which is just basically automatically queries your request depending on um, depending on what you are trying to access, or what model are you trying to or what document are you trying to get. So since we also declared our uh, dynamic route here, dynamic variable, I guess it will be good that Chasi just automatically binds that property to a model or a schema here. So saying that we can also access that um, document already because Chassis automatically binds that for you. So let's see what does it look like. So Chassis just appending or just appends underscore to your variable. And if you want to see, let's just console log that parameter. What does what does params have? What properties does it have when it came to our controller here? So let's see. So you can, as you can see, it returned us the document automatically because we are able the chassis are able to understand that we are trying to get this document at this model. So yep, I guess that completes our tutorial here. Maybe just we can wrap this functions that we created right here by just simply grouping all those routes. Set this prefixes since they all have this prefix. Maybe we can just do that and use the ESX syntax to have this both inside here, and let's delete this one. This is just for better manageability. Let's see if we can still access these routes after we wrap it up inside a group and prefixed it. Let's see if we can still access that. Okay, so we can still access that. How about middlewares? By the way, we can also add middlewares here by just simply adding another attribute here with a value of the uh, maybe a value of the middlewares. Maybe let's say admin. Let's create that one. So let's say we want to add a new middleware for admin. So no, let's first check our version. Okay, still using Node version 12. Let's use the right version here. It's defaulted to 12 because I have another project that uses the Node version 12. So check. Okay, so node chassis new middleware. Well, must be admin middleware. Yes, we are successful in adding that. Let's try to access. Oops, sorry. Let's try to access that. Must be admin middleware here. So it will be created inside this directory, the middleware's directory. Maybe we just let's just see if this one's being called when we set it as a middleware. Let's say we just want to say we just want to see this um, this string here. You must be admin and register that middleware here inside our container. As you can see, middlewares. Let's add an alias for it. Admin. And require the file. Require container middlewares and must be admin.mw.js. Okay, so let's see if we will be able to call that middleware function since we already registered here middlewares. So let's add this one. So we should be able to sign file function. Oops. Okay. So let's see if we will be able to see this message when we hit any of this endpoint right here. You must be admin. So we are successful at adding this middleware here to our group of endpoint. Let's remove this one. What if we just want this admin in a single round? We can also do that by just having this by adding this method right here and just let's just add this here, remove this one. Well, you can also see that here it was only applied to this specific endpoint right here, but I guess it's better to test it out. We should see that it says you must be admin right here. Okay, so I guess that's it. If you want to know more, check out the register at castmonkeys.com since I will be posting I will be posting updates there. And for contributors, that's if you want to be contributor of this project, maybe let's have discussions on that on that website. So thanks guys. So, till next time.